These are the runes and masteries that I'll be using for Vel'Koz mid, guys. Flat AP and Quints, magic penetration marks, armor and seals, and magic resistance in glyphs. Mastery is 2109. You can just pause if you want to copy them, and I really hope you enjoy the video. What's up, guys, and welcome to this League of Legends live commentary, and this time I'll be doing a voiceover from a gameplay that I've played on the PBE for Vel'Koz, and just show you guys this champion, show you his strengths, his weaknesses, and a bit of gameplay for him, because I know that not a lot of people are able to play him right now. Not everyone has an account on the PBE, unfortunately. So basically what you're going to see in this game is me playing versus a not a Vel'Koz, because everyone plays him right now. It's almost impossible to get your hands on him, but I was able to do so. So that's really cool as well. I'm going to be showing you guys his abilities, his passive, his Q, his W, his E, his R, his synergy. And in this game, you'll see that I actually performed quite well on him. At first, when I started playing him, I thought he was kind of weak. I didn't really understand the synergy between his spells, and I had a lot of trouble kind of understanding how to make full use of his kit. But I think in this game, I was able to do just that and kind of prove a bit more of his strength. Although the players on both teams don't play very well. This is PBE, so you have to expect people on this to come from very different regions. Now, his passive right here, as you can see, allows you to put stacks on people whenever you use an offensive ability. So basically your Q, your W, and your R will put stacks on the enemy. Your ultimate will actually put a stack every 0.5 seconds, and it actually deals damage for 2.5 seconds, I believe, so that's a maximum of 5 stacks, which is pretty cool. So I think the biggest part of this guy's kit is his ultimate. This is where his strength is. Whenever he's got level 6, his ultimate is so good, deals so much damage in synergy with his passive, because every time that true damage comes in, it's really unexpected from people, and it really deals a ton of damage, like Freak would say later on in the game. As you can see here, I started with my W just to be able to actually clear waves a bit easier. I'm not sure if this is the best way of starting the champion. In this video, I'm not trying to kind of teach you guys how to play him. I'm more trying to demonstrate how his abilities work and stuff like that. Because again, I really don't claim to know how to play this champion. I really don't claim to know if he's good or not, because I've only played him, I think, 3 times. So my initial thoughts are only as good as yours. So here I actually get my Q second, and as you can see, it's a cool spell. It throws out a bolt that will slow enemies down whenever the first enemy it hits will slow, and whoever gets hit by the 2 other subsequent. As you can see, like, it throws out 2 bolts in a 90-degree angle, which is really cool as well. They both deal, I'm not sure, the same damage, and they both slow as well, that I'm sure of. Your E is really cool. It's a knock-up, so that allows you to get away from ganks or just knock up anyone who actually gets too close from you, because you're an extremely weak champion in terms of health. You're very weak. You don't have an E sustain. You're really just a damaging nuke backline champion, and this is what I kind of found to be the role of this champion. It seems a bit like a Xerath, right? Very weak, but can deal tons of damage if played correctly. So it's all about just playing your cards right, staying in the back line, and not getting too close from the enemy front line. So this guy probably will be a very weak versus like poke champions that can just poke him from far and not let him deal any damage to them, because his Q, because it doesn't go through minions, it actually will collide with any unit it hits. It's very difficult to poke with in lane unless you can position correctly. And if your opponent is intelligent, then they'll just also move accordingly to your movement. So I feel like he might be a bit hard to play in higher elo, but again, this is really just initial thoughts. But again, as you can see here, I was able to pick off the first blood onto the mid by just having a level over him is what allowed me to kill him, I think. I get ganked here, but the nice little knock up here from the E allowed me to survive from that gank. So I thought it was really cool that his E, almost every gank from Hecarim, I was able to get away from because of his E. So it's really cool. It's pretty easy to hit. It's not that hard because it has a very short animation. So almost as soon as you throw it, it'll knock up the person. So it's really cool animation. It's not too difficult to hit. What's cool about his W basically, as you can see here, is the spell that I've been using. That's the real AoE here. It opens a rift. It looks a bit like a small Rumble ultimate. It basically has 2 damage. It has 2 different damaging components. First of all, when you throw it on the ground, it'll deal damage initially, a bit less damage, and then when the rift closes, it'll deal more damage. And it also puts stacks from both when you put the rift down and when it explodes. So that's 2 stacks, which is really cool because then you can just use 1 Q if the person stays, and bam, your passive is activated for a lot of damage. It's very difficult though to hit both because most people will just get out of the way. It's pretty easy to get out of the way of the spell. So it's pretty good to farm. I would say like it's not the best ability to damage. Maybe in a team fight it could be really cool just to put it down. I feel like this guy in team fights can do a lot. His slow is really cool. Slow AoE if you can land both the bolts, the secondary bolts. The W is really cool. Does a lot of damage. The ultimate is incredibly good. This is probably the coolest component of his kit and the most interesting, I would say. The only thing about this champ that I found, like, he's not weak at all. Like, he's really strong. His damage is really cool. He's got a cool little knock-up that can allow him to survive. The only thing I would say about this champion is that there's really nothing new about his kit. Like, for example, when we saw Yasuo come out, like, he had very, very different abilities, different kits, like, some stuff that we've never seen before, that we had never seen before. Like, his wall, this is, like, some new stuff. His passive, double the crit chance. This is, like, very, very new stuff. His passive, the flow, and all that stuff. Like, that was all stuff that we hadn't seen before, and that was really, really interesting. Now this guy doesn't really have anything that we haven't seen before, except for his Q, which it's a cool component. The 90-degree angle thing is new. This is probably the only thing that's new on his kit. His ultimate is basically a Lux ultimate channeled, or you could say it's also a Malzahar ultimate that you can control wherever it goes. So yeah, this is not like it's a laser. It's nothing new necessarily. But the 90-degree angle thing, where the first enemy it hits gets slowed and then it goes out both ways, that's new. But again, it's not necessarily like the coolest thing, like the coolest addition. I think it could make for some pretty interesting plays at high elo. But so far I've had a lot of trouble hitting that spell on multiple enemies. Mostly it'll only hit one, and then that's like basically it. But it's cool because the cool component about this thing is that even if you miss it, most of the time if you miss it, you can still hit the spell because the little bolts will throw and they'll just hit the enemy that you missed with the initial throw, which is really cool. And it'll still slow them down. So yeah, I think that's the coolest component about the 90-degree thing, is that if you miss the enemy with your initial throw, it might just hit them with the additional 2 bolts. And yeah, so what's cool about this champion, I would say, like, building this champion kind of is quite easy. I would say, like, his W, basically the recharge rate is faster if you have a more cooldown reduction. So you get a lot more, like, I would just say spam cooldown reduction on this guy. Anything that gives it. Basically, Athene's Holy Grail seems to be a good item. This is what I'll be building on this guy for this game. As you can see, the other Vel'Koz on the other side is not necessarily a very good player, but again, like I said on PBE, you have to expect people to be from many different regions and many different elos. So if this guy comes from like Europe, he might be laggy as hell, so that's normal to see people that don't necessarily perform as well on the PBE. And I was kind of glad this game that I was able to get a game where I didn't have 5 mids, or I had 3 junglers, or 2 tops, or like 3 AD carries, because that's mostly what you get in PBE. It's a bit unfortunate, but I was really, really glad this game I was able to get just this game. I got executed here because I didn't understand how the R work. But how the R works basically is that you have to click on the R again if you want to be able to cancel it. You can't just walk away. Like if you already have engaged your ultimate, the only way you can cancel it is by pressing the button again, and that way you can actually get away. But this time was actually good, because if I actually did get away from the tower hit, I would have gotten killed by a Hecarim. So I just got a tower kill, which is pretty cool. So you'll see how I build this guy. Basically, again, Athene's Only Grail is like going to be my first item. Very, very basic. I'm not sure, again, if this is like the best way of building this guy, but so far it seems to be genuinely like a good way of building him because of the fact that he benefits so much from cooldown reduction with his W. And what's cool with his W, again, is that it can stack 2 times. So if you can store it up without using it, and then just get someone knocked up with your E, you could use 2 W's on top of them, and they would automatically not only get hit by one of your passive stacks, which deals a lot of damage, but then they'll also have one more stack that can be detonated with either your Q or your ultimate. So the damage potential is really, really cool if you can just blow all your spells. You have a lot of damage potential in this champion. So this is, again, just really a backline, weak backline, but high nuke potential champion. So you're extremely weak and extremely vulnerable to damage and to poke as well, because you don't have any sustain. But if you can get your full combo out there, you'll see that you will not be disappointed by the damage output of this champion. It's incredibly good. The ultimate surprisingly high damage, and sometimes you don't expect it because it'll blow the passive up to 2 times, and that's something that I was not expecting from this champion. If you already have a stack on the person that you're hitting using, I think I die here, or not only, I actually don't die. But yeah, if you already have 1 stack on the person, it'll activate the passive twice, which is incredible. Again, the passive is really good. It's like a really big damaging component because it's true damage, so you can actually tear through tanks with it as well. And the higher the level you are, the more damage it deals. I think it's 30 plus 10 times your level, so that's really good. Like every time your passive hits, like later on at level 18, if I make the calculation, because I'm really good, I'm bad at maths. It's 18 times 10 plus 30, which basically gives you 210 damage for your passive. It's true damage as well. This is just, I think it might actually nerf it, because you'll see later on once I get a couple of kills, the damage output is just too big. But I think it's a good upside for the fact that you're so weak, right? The downside of this champion is that if he gets caught, you're dead, like, almost every time. So champions like Vi, like very popular junglers at the moment, might actually just stomp all over this guy if he gets caught. Like, Vi's ultimate can lock him down. You might as well get like a Zhonya's Hourglass on this guy. Could be a really good item versus some of these champions. Like Zed, for example, could just completely annihilate this guy. If played correctly. So this is really just a testing of this champion. But again, I want to come back to that damage here that I was talking about. 210 damage for every time your passive blows up. Look at that here. Look at the damage right there. Boom! See, bam, the passive just blew up and the guy just exploded. So say that you use your ultimate, okay, with someone who already has 1 stack on them. This means the passive will proc 2 times during your ultimate, okay? So your ultimate will deal 420 true damage plus the damage from the ultimate, which is already pretty good. I'd have to go check how much it is exactly, but it's just incredible output. If people don't expect the output of that, the ultimate basically it's 50, it's 50, 70, and 90 damage plus 6% of your AP every 0.5 seconds, which is incredible. Actually, no, it's it seems to be 0.25. It depends, because in game I thought it was 0.5, but then I'm looking on the website here. Okay, yeah, I see it. I see how it works. So basically, the organic destruction cannot be applied more frequently than once every 0.5 seconds. So basically, your ultimate will only apply stacks every 0.5 seconds, but it will deal damage every 0.25 seconds. So that's really cool. And so let's just read. I'll just read the ultimate right here because I have it on my second screen. Vel'Koz roots himself in place. Like I said earlier, you can deactivate it by pressing R again, and unleashes a laser forward in a line, damaging all enemies caught in its wake at a 0.25 second interval and slowing them by 20% for 1 second. the raised trajectory will update over the duration to face the cursor and will end after either 2.5 seconds have elapsed, or Vel'Koz recasts the ability, which is I just said earlier. Look at this damage here on your screen right there. This is 102-0, just killing this guy, like I said, with the passive, and it's just incredible. The damage output is so good. And so if we look at the damage here, I will not even take into account AP, which kind of is a big factor. Or actually, I will. So look at that. Right now I have 111 AP in this game. So basically what you're going to do is like this. So that's like 6 point. Let's say about 7. So you add about 7. So I'm level, what level am I? I'm level 11. So basically it's 70 damage plus 7. So it's 77 damage every 0.5 seconds for 2.5 seconds. So basically you do that times 5, because actually no, 0.25 times, it's actually 10. So 10, this is incredible. I can't believe it. 10 times 77. This is 770 damage plus 440 or 420. I mean. So basically you deal 1,200 damage with your ultimate at level 11. This is just overwhelming, and 420 of that damage is true damage, so you can't block it with either, you know, armor or anything like that. So very impressive damage here from this guy. I'm very impressed. So see here, making some plays here with the ultimate, quite nice. So already 8-1 in that game, and the one death that I have is from a tower. So here I'm just trying to dodge, barely survive there, and you'll see the conclusion of that fight. I get chased down, rumble right here. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna die, and then I just knock him up right there. Bam! I'm like, okay, I'm getting away from this. Maybe not. Bam! Get hit by the Lucian, and I just died. But yeah, which is cool right now because I'm doing a voiceover. I can actually just check some stuff while the gameplay goes on and just kind of check some numbers for you guys. But I think the numbers on this guy are just so high, and the damage potential is so good. And 130 seconds cooldown is not that much. It's about like 2 minutes. So that's not too bad. I mean, it's a pretty long cooldown comparing like to a lot of different ultimates here at the moment. But at level 3, which is at level 16, it's 90 seconds cooldown, which is a minute and a half. And then if you have cooldown reduction, you can also, you know, just kind of put that at 36 seconds cooldown, which is really nice. So 36 seconds to deal, you know, at maximum level, we're talking like 90 plus maybe like, let's say maybe like 15 from your AP. So it's like 105 times 10, which is like 1,050 damage plus your passive, which is like really good. It's actually 25 plus 10 times your level, which is what I kind of missed up earlier on. It's 25 plus 10 times. So I kind of, maybe it doesn't deal like 1,000 damage, but we'll see. Like, really cool here, what I did right there, and I'll be chasing Ashe. She can't really do much, like Ashe support, she doesn't have anything. Knock her up, and you see the damage from Q is just incredible. It also popped the passive, so she just died instantly, and I'm 10-2 right now. So I actually made a mistake earlier on when I was actually making the calculation, because I took into account the damage from the passive at level 18, although I was only level 11, so I would say 11. No, not true actually. That's not. Is that true? Hold on. Times 10. So it's 100. Yeah, that's it. It's 110. Yeah, I did. So it's 110 plus 25. So it's 135 times 2. So that would be 260 damage. What I was talking earlier. So the ultimate basically deals about like 1,000 damage instead of like 1,200. So it's not too bad. It's still pretty good. I was 202 damage off. So here, some good damage. We got Hikram right there. Doesn't know where to run, so he's gonna run, I believe, my way. Yeah, he will. Goes back to my way. Bam, just do my combo on him, knock him up, use my ultimate, get down. He's dead. 11-2 right now. So just showing the true potential of this guy once he gets fed. I got a Morellocon in this game, because I'm not even sure that's the actual name of the spell, but of the item, I mean. Because I wanted like as much cooldown reduction as I could. This is probably not the best item on this guy, so again, just don't copy the build. But I think cooldown reduction will be very, very good. But you can get it. You can get it with some other ways. Like you could get it with blue potion. You could get it with what is it? Was it called? Oh my God, Deathfire's Grasp. Yeah, Deathfire's Grasp would be a good item to get it from as well. Like with his immense burst, I feel like he's got so much burst. Like a Deathfire's Grasp would be really, really cool on this guy. So there you go. That's the game right there. I think they surrender right there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the commentary. Hopefully you kind of have a better idea of how this champion works, his kit, his big strength, his big burst potential. But again, the downside in this game, the players against me didn't actually try to emphasize on the fact that I was so weak. They just kind of ran away whenever I was trying to kill them, and that just allowed me to pick off kills after kills after kills. But he's got a lot of potential. So again, hopefully you guys can make your own decision with this video. And you can subscribe, go like me on Twitter as well. I'll be writing some stuff there. I'll be doing a giveaway soon as well. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you very soon for another video.